Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron and welcome back today to another live stream. It is the live game review, to our 2-0 victory against Sheffield Wednesday away from home in the third round of the Carabao Cup yesterday. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's brace seeing the Blues through into the fourth round draw, which will take place tonight. So you'll have an instant reaction to whoever we draw a little bit later on. But we need to talk about yesterday's game first. A good win for the Blues, a much needed win for Everton. Obviously it wasn't a fantastic game of football, we weren't brilliant. Obviously we scored 2 goals very early on and then we held out to get the win. Sheffield Wednesday did have a couple of opportunities. Maybe if they'd been a little bit more clinical, if they'd had a little bit more quality up top, they may have hurt us, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got the win and we're in the app for tonight's draw, and that's all that matters. We needed it after 2 really poor performances against Bournemouth and Sheffield United in the Premier League. We massively needed to go out there yesterday and we had a point to prove. And you know what, listen, we didn't have, it wasn't the best performance of the season. We weren't absolutely fantastic defensively, we still looked shaky at times, but we went out there, we got 2 early goals and we held on to the lead and we won the game of football away from home. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. We're going to talk about the game in great depth today. We're going to talk about some of the changes Marco Silva made, and we're also going to talk about, like I said, the win and obviously the substitutes as well I want to mention. So yeah, big thanks for joining us. Max says, hi Cam, hi Max, hope you're doing well. Chris says, hi mate, well done on your win. The smile back on your faces. Thank you very much, Chris, really do appreciate that. And David says, until Saturday, Chris. Yeah, obviously we've got a big game on Saturday. We're going to talk about the effect that this may have on the Manchester City game, obviously on Saturday night. Listen, we needed that win yesterday first and foremost. Before we dissect the game, before we go into talking about any of the, the nuts and crannies, we massively needed that win yesterday. We've got a big game on Saturday afternoon, Saturday night against Manchester City, obviously at Goodison Park. Yes, it's at home. Yes, we've performed well against top teams at home in the last few months. However, this is a next level team in my opinion, and one of the best teams in world football, and we couldn't have gone into this off the back of 2 really poor defeats against average Premier League sides. Obviously, like I said, I'm not getting my hopes up massively. I'm not saying, we've beat Sheffield Wednesday now, so that means everything's okay and we're going to go on and we're going to get a result against Manchester City on Saturday, because we all know that's not how it works. However, it will have lifted the lads' confidence. It will have given the lads a little bit more belief, and it will have, it will, like I said, it will have lifted their confidence ahead of Saturday's game. Whereas if we wouldn't have won yesterday, or we'd have got into it off the back of the Sheffield United defeat, heads would have still been down, there would have been no belief, and there would have been no confidence in themselves. Where are we? Chris says, hope not, David. Football Fan says, would you ever start up with Peyton like Toffee TV? Maybe, if there was a demand for it, maybe, but I think I'm still a little bit too small for doing that at the minute, and I just like diving on and doing the streams as we do now. Chris says, yeah, Football Fan I emailed you. Wayne says, safe mugger, how's you? I'm not too bad, Wayne. I hope you're doing well. See how much DCL could improve if he had the season in the Championship. You have to learn your state. He used to play in central mid, so he's not a natural finisher. Really good point. He did. We actually bought him as a midfielder, so all the talk in recent weeks that he's not a natural number 9 and he's not a striker. Well, he's not, because he wasn't a striker when we brought him in. He was brought in as an attacking sort of midfielder. I thought he played really well last night. Obviously, he tailed off towards the end of the game. There was a lot of comments on Twitter about this being his level, and he's found his level, and he's a Championship level player. I just think we should lay off the back of Dominic Calvert-Lewin a little bit. Your point is something that would, makes a little bit more sense, saying that maybe a season in the Championship would improve him. I've seen a lot of fans on Twitter just absolutely trying to have a go at him even after he scored the second goal, saying, well, yeah, but this is his level. Let's just give the lad some due. Let's give the lad some confidence, and let's congratulate the lad, because he put 2 goals in there that ultimately have won us the game. And at the end of the day, let's leave the negativity at the front door, really, and just say, well done, lad, on to the next one, and carry in that reign, because he'll have been coming out of that game thinking, you know what, I've got a little bit more confidence, I've scored 2 goals, I've won us the game, I was on the score sheet, 2 decent finishes as well, so I've got a little bit more confidence in myself now. Let's not take that away from him by, telling him that he's a Championship level striker. Football Fan says, we'll check now. Chris says, do us a favour on Saturday. We all know you love us, really. Listen, I want Everton to win every single game of football, whether Liverpool, matter or anything to do with that. I want Everton to win on Saturday, as I want Everton to beat every single team. David says, that missed header shows he's not natural. I think we need 2 up front. I do agree. I think we need 2 up front. Eugene says, Everton starting line for the Manchester City game at Goodison Park on Sky Sports, kick-off 5. 8:30. Well, obviously, we'll be doing the game preview to the Manchester City game actually tomorrow night, so don't forget to join us for that one. We'll have my predicted starting 11 in there as well. Chris says, to be honest, Everton created us, so we should be thanking you a lot. Liverpool Football Club exists. See, that's a sound Liverpool fan. Chris is a sound Liverpool fan. And David says, nope. So anyway, I want to go into talking about Marco Silva's starting 11 yesterday. So obviously, it was released at 6:45. It was the same formation, something that a lot of us talked about in the game preview. We talked about prior to the game was whether Marco Silva would actually change the formation, whether he would opt with 2 up front, whether he would opt with taking Gylfi-Sigurdsson out and leaving the number 10 position out of the out of the equation. He did take Gylfi-Sigurdsson out. He, however, played the same formation. So obviously, starting from the back, Jibril Sidibe came in for Seamus Coleman at right back. Actually thought he played really, really well. Obviously got the assist for the first goal. Fantastic ball across to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who controls it really, really well and puts it in the back of the net. Mason Holgate come in for Michael Keane again. I think Mason done okay. As the jury's out for me still with Mason. I still don't think he's aware enough to be a Premier League centre-half. I still don't think he anticipates things enough. But he come in for Michael Keane and done okay. Then into the midfield, obviously, Tom Davies coming in for Morgan Schneiderlin, something that we've all been calling for now for a matter of weeks, to Tom Davies to get his opportunity and to get his start. He come in for Morgan Schneiderlin, Alex Iwobi coming in the number 10 for Gylfi-Sigurdsson, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front for Moise Keane. Obviously, you had Bernard on the left, Richarlison on the right, Iwobi in the 10, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front, something again that a lot of us have been asking to see for quite some time. Now, I actually think all of the changes played well yesterday. Like I said, Sidibe coming in and really, really performing. Obviously got a decent assist, which will have given him a lot of confidence as well. And maybe it's time now that we see Sidibe get a little bit of a run in the team. Obviously, Seamus has struggled over the last couple of weeks. He hasn't quite been up to scratch. He hasn't quite been up to scratch, let's be honest, for a couple of years now, ever since he had that, horrific injury. However, he certainly hasn't been up to scratch this season. He's struggled so far. Sidibe's come in. Obviously, he's played 2 games. Geordie was still out after the Lincoln game. He done okay, but he did make a couple of mistakes. Whereas yesterday, I thought he was pretty solid overall from what I'd heard on the radio, obviously, because you couldn't find the game anywhere. So we're all just going off what we heard on the radio, really. And obviously got the fantastic assist for Dominic Calvert-Lewin's first goal as well. Like I mentioned with Holgate, he come in, he didn't do anything overly bad. There was a couple of defensive errors throughout the game in the second half. He really, really struggled again. Balls in the box was troubling us. Sheffield Wednesday were creating the odd opportunity here and there, like I said, just that he didn't quite have enough quality in the final third to hurt us, which is worrying, of course. Again, like I said, for Mason Holgate, I'd love Mason Holgate to be the centre-half that we all need and the centre-half that we're all looking for, but I just question as to whether he's got that quality. Tom Davies doing well in midfield, very nearly had an absolute awful start to the game, gave away a ball within the first 2 minutes, and Sheffield Wednesday went one-on-one with the keeper there. Striker went one-on-one with Jordan Pickford. Luckily enough, Jordan Pickford made a really, really good save to keep it at 0-0. And then, of course, we go up the other end and Dominic Calvert-Lewin gets the first of his 2 goals. Like I said, an absolutely fantastic ball over by Jibril Sidibe. Dom controls it really, really well, and he hits it first time, and it's in off the bar, and all of a sudden, 5 minutes in, and it's 1-0, and you're thinking, right, brilliant start, let's carry on now in this vein, let's keep the confidence, and let's make sure that we don't, do anything stupid, and we don't give away the ball. We then go on and get the second, pretty much a couple of minutes afterwards again, another really, really good bit of play. Iwobi breaks into the box, he pulls it back for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and I actually really, really like this goal, because Dominic Calvert-Lewin originally is in front or on level with Alex Iwobi, and he sees that Alex Iwobi is running towards the byline, and he pretty much understands that if he carries on level with Alex Iwobi, if the ball comes across, the keeper's going to sweep it up, because if he went any further, he'd be in the back of the net himself. So what he does is he steps back, and Alex Iwobi anticipates that, cuts the ball back, and because Dom's taking that step back, he could come to him, and it's a simple finish. And again, it's an absolutely fantastic goal by Dominic Calvert-Lewin, makes it 2-0, and all of a sudden you're thinking, right, absolutely brilliant start, let's go and get a couple of more. Now there's absolutely no harm in going and getting 3, 4, 5, and really, really, taking it to Sheffield Wednesday, and really, really building up the confidence ahead of Saturday's game. Obviously, we know it wasn't like that again. We see now towards the end of the first half, nothing much really happened. We had a couple of opportunities here and there. Richarlison had one. Jibril Sidibe went close as well, really, really close. And then I think the second half we struggled in. I think we did struggle again. We seemed to see an Everton that we've seen quite a lot recently in terms of balls coming into the box and struggling to defend and being a little bit sheepish defensively. Now, like I said, luckily enough, Sheffield Wednesday didn't quite have enough going forward to be able to hurt us, but if it would have been another team, it would have been a Premier League team, and would have conceded one of those balls into the box, then who knows, heads might have dropped. But that's not what happened, and it's tough to sit and review games like this, because you're almost sitting here saying, well, we were still ropey defensively. We were still allowing balls to come into the box. We were still allowing opposition players to get space and break free, but we didn't concede. So we can sit here and say, well, if we would have conceded, heads would have dropped and we mightn't have gone on to win the game, but it didn't happen. Or you could, we could. It's as good as saying if we'd have conceded, then would have woken up a little bit and would have gone on and got a third and a fourth. We don't really know. It's tough to speak like that. One thing is for certain is it wasn't a perfect performance by any means necessary. We did struggle in the second half, and that is a slight worry for me. But at the end of the day, like I said, just on the surface, we needed the win. We needed the win massively yesterday. It's a cup competition that we all know we can't disregard. We need to take massively seriously. We're in the hat now for the fourth round, which will be the draw will be later on tonight, so we'll see who we'll get. There's some really winnable teams in that in that draw as well that we could get, and again, progress into the fifth round. So for me, the most important thing yesterday was getting the win. We all know as Evertonians, we're not in a vein of form now to go out there and demand a 4 or 5-0 victory. And when it became 2-0 within 10 minutes, you were sort of sitting there going, well, okay, is this the team that we're going to absolutely obliterate? But it wasn't to be. Obviously, we struggled like we've seen Everton struggle constantly recently. But I think the most important thing wasn't whether it was down to us just defending well enough or whether it was down to Sheffield Wednesday just not quite having enough going forward. We kept the clean sheet and we got the win. And like I said, that'll give the boys a lot of confidence going into what's going to be an absolutely rock hard game on Saturday afternoon, really, against, for me, the best, if not one of the best teams in the Premier League, and a team that are going to turn up to Goodison Park knowing full well that they need to get the 3 points. They can't afford to drop points now, especially with them lot over the park, who don't look like they're going to be dropping points at any time soon. So it's going to be a really tough fixture. Obviously, like I said, I'm not saying that the performances give me enough hope as to think that we can go and get something out of Saturday's game, but this is Everton Football Club we're talking about. Everton Football Club in previous years have been battered 3 games on the bounce by average to bottom tier Premier League teams, and then gone out there and battered a team that are challenging for the title the next week. It's Everton. We literally don't know what to expect anymore with Everton Football Club. We seen that towards the back end of last season when we absolutely obliterated pretty much all of the top 6, but we struggled against teams like Fulham and Crystal Palace away from home. It'll give the lads a massive confidence boost, and for me that's all that matters. The win was all that mattered yesterday. Yes, the performance wasn't as inspiring as we would like, and yes, if you're being negative, you could pick points out of it that we need to improve on, but at the end of the day, we won the game, and for me, that's all that matters. I'm just going to tweet today's team out so everybody knows that we are live. If you're enjoying this team so far, by the way, please do leave a like, hit the subscribe button if you're new as well. We gained loads of subscribers after the instant match reaction yesterday, loads of subscribers after the 2 streams on Monday as well. So big thanks to everybody that is new for subscribing. If you haven't already as well and you're new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button. It means a massive amount to me. We're well on the way now to 900. I believe we're about 26 subscribers away from 500. So if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. Share today's stream as well if you're watching live. Get it shared. Share it to all your mates. Share it over your socials. Make sure that as many people get involved in the conversation as possible, because like I said, this isn't my channel. It's not my personal channel. It's not my opinion. It's not just for me, it's for everybody. It's my opinion, it's your opinions, and that's why obviously I like to read every single comment out, because it's as much about what you think as it is about what I think. Where are we? Craig says we're up and down like a horse draws. We are at the minute, and that's the inconsistency that we all spoke about at the start of the season, before we'd even kicked the ball in the Premier League. Before we'd even kicked the ball in the Carabao Cup, we all talked about how we need to nail down this inconsistency issue, and we need to be able to go on an inconsistent run of wins and getting a draw, and maybe winning a home game, winning an away game, winning a home game, drawing an away game, winning a home game, and getting an inconsistent run. And that was exactly what took Arsenal to their position last season, because they were god awful away from home, but they had a run of about 19 games where they didn't lose a game because they had that consistency towards the start of the season, and that's exactly what we need. Chris says Calvert-Lewin to start on Saturday. He's made the case for himself. 2 goals. I know fans still, will like to pick the negatives in it. I know fans will still try and say, well, he's a championship player, what you'd expect. But at the end of the day, the lad started yesterday, and if he wouldn't have scored the goal at all, would have been negative. If he'd have scored 6, would have been negative. So the fact that he went out there, he scored a brace, and he won us the game, really, for me, I don't know how you can't see the positives in that. Whether he starts on Saturday is a different question. I know people will pick holes in that as well, but you could pick holes in any of the 3 forwards starting on Saturday. If you throw Moise Keane up there, you could say, well, again, you're isolating a lad against the best team in the Premier League, against one of the most solid defences over the last few years. You're isolating him, sticking him in there, knowing full well that he's going to struggle. If you stick Cenk Tosun up there, you say, well, he's had no game time at all, and he hasn't got the pace to be able to take on those centre-backs. So for me, I'd quite like a change of formation on Saturday, and if Marco Silva sees that and does that, then I'll be really, really happy. I think 2 up front will massively benefit us against, like I said, a decent defence and a really, really good footballing team. David says, not for me, we always create chances. Dom had a decent game, but I personally don't think he'll be a top 6 striker. That's fair enough. Chris says, I expect Everton to target set pieces on Saturday against Manchester City. That's where City's weakness is at. I think with City on Saturday, obviously, like I said, we'll talk about the game in tomorrow's live game preview. So we'll talk a little bit more in depth about it. My predicted starting 11s and in terms of how we should approach the game. But City are a team that aren't gonna play like a lot of the teams that were played against this season. They're not gonna throw mad balls into the box. They're not gonna try and hit our defense sort of like I said, with balls into the box and with set pieces. They're gonna rely on fast moving football, and they're gonna come at us. They're not gonna sit back, and we've seemed to struggle against teams that have sat back this season because we haven't been able to break them down, and we haven't just had enough quality to go in there and get goals, exactly like we did against Sheffield United. They sat back, we didn't have enough quality to break them down, and they caught us twice with one set piece and one counter attack. And I don't think City will play like that. I think City will play very fast moving. Obviously they'll be going towards goal, and that might benefit us. Don't get me wrong, we could get absolutely twatted 4-5-0 because they might just have too much for us. But Everton playing on the counter attack for me is a lot more beneficial, and Everton trying to having more of the ball and trying to create opportunities through doing that. Where are we? Said Everton need to start winning games against Manchester City and climb up the Premier League table. I agree, spot on. David says, I think we'll try and hit City on the break. It's the way we play. I agree, spot on, like we just said. Wayne says, we all want Colchester or Crawley at home. Thought Davis was shite. I can't have him, mate. Wants us to get rid of him, Sigurdsson, Snidling, Coleman, Keane, Tossen, and try to sign Dolberg, Zuma, Kessie, Bowen for goals. Fair enough. Let me know what you all think of that one. Chris says, would you take Arteta as Everton manager if Silva left? No, he hasn't got enough experience. If Silva did leave, there'd still be massive issues, there'd still be massive questions that need answering, and I just don't think Mikel Arteta could answer these questions, not now anyway. But for the fact that he's an Everton legend, and it'd be boss to see him on the touchline, it would be nice, but I just don't see it benefiting us in terms of going forward. And by that I mean the club going forward and not going forward on the pitch. Where are we? Mark says, what time is the draw for the next round? I'm not actually sure. I assume it'll be after the games tonight, so probably around 10 o'clock. They usually are around 10 o'clock because they're usually after the fixture tonight. Let me know if there's any issues in the stream, by the way. I've got a little message that just popped up, so please do let me know if anything goes wrong. I just want to make sure everything's still working okay. Chris says, do you go to all Everton games, mate, or just the home games, or just the away games? I only go to the home games at the minute. I want to get to as many away games as possible. However, it's a little bit difficult for me at the minute with work and stuff, so just the home games at the minute. And Wayne says, good to see Dean with the armband. I think it will be his next season because Sigurdsson and Coleman shouldn't be starting. Yeah, it was fantastic to see. Obviously, Luca Dean with the captain's armband done really, really well yesterday. Good to give him that responsibility. And he's one of the vice captains now, so I dare say we'll see him with the armband a lot more in the future. Let me just log on to the stream on my phone to make sure everything's working okay, because these messages pop up constantly on your computer and you're sitting there and you're thinking, oh, what's going on here? Is it gone? Is it working? So give me just a second and let me make sure everything's still working. It's how it should be. Yeah, I think we're all still working. I think we're working fine. I'll ignore that message for now. If you're in the live comments, get some comments in. Let me hear what you think about yesterday's game. And if you're watching live and you're enjoying, please do hit that like button. Let's see if we can get to 5 likes today. So yeah, obviously talking about the game, like I said, Dominic Calvert-Lewin getting a couple of goals and ultimately winning us the game, but it wasn't convincing whatsoever. It really, really wasn't convincing whatsoever. Defensively, we were still a little bit worrying. We were still a little bit shaky. The second half, from what we could hear on the radio, from the highlights that we've seen, again, we were conceding, stupid opportunities. We were letting Sheffield Wednesday get in. We were letting them put the ball across the box. We were letting them play neat passes. And for me, that second half should have been a second half where Marco Silva's gone into the tunnel, gone into the changing room at half time, and he said, listen boys, we're 2-0 up. Sheffield Wednesday have had a couple of opportunities, but they haven't been clinical enough. So let's go out there and let's finish this game off now. Let's royally finish this game off. Let's go out there, let's get another couple of goals early on, and then let's see where we go from there. But we didn't. We struggled massively, and it was almost like the players were a little bit nervous. It was almost like the result and the fact that we were winning 2-0 had a little bit too much of an effect on them, and they were all sort of sitting there going, well, we're 2-0 up, so we don't want to concede, we don't want to let the win go, so what do we do here? And for me, that's a little bit of a worry, and again, that's a mentality issue. We spoke about the mentality multiple times in recent weeks about how it needs to change and how we are weak mentally in terms of when we're on the pitch, when we've winning, when we're losing as well, we just seem to be a little bit soft. That needs to obviously harden up going into the next games in the Carabao Cup, and obviously as the Premier League season progresses, we can't be 2-0 up against the team that we know we should be beating and thinking about what would happen if they get back into the game. We should be thinking, right, we're 2-0 up now, everyone should be having a field day and everyone should be wanting to get on the score sheet, and that's how we should be playing. In terms of the players that come in, obviously we've wanted Tom Davies in for a while now, coming for Morgan Schneiderlin. I think he done okay, made the mistake within the first couple of minutes obviously, which very nearly ended up in a Sheffield Wednesday goal, but it didn't at the end of the day, and I think he done well for the majority of the game. Again, that partnership with Fabian Delph is something that we've all wanted to see, linking up quite well with Fabian Delph. The two that I was most impressed with were Jibril Sidibe and Alex Iwobi, specifically Alex Iwobi in the number 10 position. I just think that Bernard has been too effective, not only this season, but towards the back end of last season as well, to not start him in games of football and to leave him on the bench. Obviously, Alex Iwobi's coming in the summer for quite a big price tag, and he was labelled as a player that could play on that left-hand side, labelled as a player that could play in that number 10. Marco Silva brought him in, firstly, to play him on the left-hand side, which, was fine by me as competition. Bernard come out after scoring against Watford in the first home game of the season. Iwobi come in, scored a couple in his first, couple of games, got an assist, obviously, yesterday. So I think both of them are doing really, really well. The one player that's seemingly not doing well, that's in contention for either of those positions, is Gylfi Sigurdsson. Now, for me, I think Alex Iwobi and Bernard being on the pitch yesterday was really, really beneficial, and I would like to see that a little bit more going forward. I'd even be tempted to play Bernard and Alex Iwobi in the starting 11 on Saturday against Manchester City and keep Gylfi Sigurdsson out. Now, I don't think Marco Silva will do that, because I think Marco Silva will put Gylfi Sigurdsson in there for his experience and his quality and the fact that he can produce that little bit of quality that can win you the game of football, which he can, let's be honest. He hasn't been fantastic this season and he hasn't done an awful lot this season, but, he can produce that one wow moment of magic and of quality that can win you the game. Sidibe obviously coming in, I think it's a little bit more of an easier one for Marco Silva. Seamus Coleman has struggled this season, and we sort of had a feeling that Sidibe would be given another chance. Obviously, the Carabao Cup, made his debut against Lincoln earlier on in the season, come in yesterday, obviously got the assist for Dominic Calvert-Lewin's first goal. Really, really good finish, and for me, I think he should be given a run in the team now. I think Seamus Coleman should be brought out, told, listen lad, you're going to have a couple of weeks on the sideline, you haven't started the season brilliantly, you've struggled at times, so you're going to spend a little bit of time out, and we're going to throw Sidibe in and see how he does for a couple of weeks. Let's see how he does against the top Premier League side. Obviously, we've only seen him against lower league opposition this season so far in the Carabao Cup, so let's see how he does against, a top Premier League side, and, you don't get many better than Manchester City, do you? So for me, I think both of those players done really, really well. Like I said, Holgate done okay, but I think he'll be probably back out the team on Saturday for Michael Keane, as will Tom Davies, I dare say. I'd like to see Tom Davies still in there, but I've just got a feeling that Morgan Schneiderlin will get his place back. In terms of the other two, like I said, I really, really would like to see Iwobi remain in the starting 11 and Bernard remain in the starting 11 as well, and I'd like to see Sidibe get a little bit of a run now, because, he's not going to gain fitness, he's not going to gain experience, and he's not going to get used to the style of play or the system if he's not playing a lot of games. And if we're only going to bring him in for the Carabao Cup games and the FA Cup games, then it's not really competition for Seamus Coleman, is it? It's cover for Seamus Coleman, and that's something that Marco Silva said we had in Sidibe was competition. So he's competed, he's done well, he's got an assist, which is more than Seamus has got all season, so give him a run of games now and let Seamus have to compete for that position back. Like I said, really, realistically, yesterday's game, it wasn't perfect, we weren't brilliant, we've got a lot to improve on, obviously, and that was always going to be the case. We were never going to go there, beat Sheffield Wednesday 4 or 5 or 6-0 and go, right, everything's sorted now, the issues are gone, that's it. And to be honest, I'm not happy that we didn't go out there. Obviously, I'd be much happier if we'd have been sitting here saying, 6-0, Keane scored, Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored at 6, Sigurdsson come on and scored, but maybe the result yesterday wasn't too bad, because it made us all realise that the issues are still there and that there's no paper over the cracks, there's nothing to sort of turn our heads against those issues. There's still defensive problems, there's still problems with balls coming into the box, there's still problems with defending crosses, and we seen that yesterday against the lower league opposition, and the only thing that, realistically kept the clean sheet for us yesterday, or, ensured that we kept the clean sheet, was that they didn't have any real quality in the box or any real quality going forward, and that's not a dig towards Sheffield Wednesday at all, that's just a fact. But, like I said, it showed us fans that there's still issues there that need to be addressed, and there's still things that need to be worked on in the dressing room, and it would have shown Marco Silva that as well. But at the end of the day, let's knock the negativity on the head. The most important thing is that we got the 3 points. The most important thing is that we got the win, and we progress into the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. Like we we said, the draw will be probably tonight at around 10 o'clock. It's definitely tonight, but I assume it'll be around 10 o'clock after the fixtures tonight. And let's see if we can get a decent little home draw. Let's see if we can get a decent team at home, beat them, go into the 5th round, and all of a sudden the quarters and the semis, etc., are looking a little bit more likely. We still need to continue to, stay competitive in this competition and go out there and put the strongest team as possible, no matter who we're playing, because this is a real opportunity of getting some silverware this season. Just before I go, I want to talk about the substitutions. Like we said, a lot of people on social media not happy with Marco Silva's substitutions yesterday. Obviously, he brought on Gylfi Sigurdsson, Morgan Schneiderlin and Theo Walcott, the same usual 3 players that either come on or feature in every single game. Now, a lot of fans wanted Moise Kean to come on. A lot of fans wanted us to be a little bit more adventurous with the subs. Now, I understand that. I really do understand that. It would have been a good time as any, really, for Moise Kean to have come on and picked himself, got himself a goal and got himself underway, and that would have obviously been fantastic for his confidence, and it would have obviously been fantastic for the team as well. However, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world for Marco Silva to throw on Gylfi Sigurdsson in a game that we were struggling in the second half. Let's be honest, a player with composure, a player that could take the ball down and keep hold of it. Schneiderlin only come on for the last 5 or 10 minutes of the game anyway, so that wasn't really anything too serious. But I do understand that it would have been a little bit more adventurous, and it would have been a little bit more of a risk to, like I said, throw Moise Kean on there, throw somebody a little bit more attacking on there. I think Marco Silva went with the safe option yesterday with the substitutions, and I understand why that's a little bit frustrating, but at the end of the day we won the game, so let's just take the positives out of that and let's just be happy that we won the game and we're in the at for the next round today. It wasn't a perfect performance whatsoever and it could have easily gone another way, but it didn't. We won the game, and that's all that matters, isn't it, at the end of the day. Chris says, at least you go to games, mate, unlike armchair fans. Chris also says, I can see Zuma joining Everton in January as Tomori getting ahead of him at Chelsea now. Yeah, I can see Kurt Zuma returning back to Everton in January, but whether Marco Silva and Marcel Brands will want to pay the money that Chelsea probably want for him, I don't know. Chris says, who do you like in the draw? There's loads of teams I'd like, to be honest. I just want a home draw. I really do. Obviously, I don't really want any of the top boys, but I'd take pretty much anybody at Goodison Park because I think we can be a giant at Goodison Park. Granted, we were shocking against Sheffield United last weekend, but I think, at home, genuinely, we are better than we are away from home. So I'd say pretty much any of the teams at Goodison, preferably stay away from some of the bigger teams. Wayne says, Sidibe will improve, only just getting fit, deserves a run. I agree, spot on. Wayne says, to be fair, if we beat City, can't see them catching Liverpool. Don't mind losing this one if we win the next 10. I don't want to lose any game. And City lost, 4 or 5 games last season and still managed to win the league. So, who knows? It's very early on in the season. We're only in September, so there's still a long way to go. Chris says, that'd be music to my ears, Wayne, if he did beat them, but still early in the season. Spot on. Goodsall says, spot on. There is obviously still issues there. We won and we're still in the club. Hopefully we can get in better form by the next round. Exactly, spot on. Wayne says, when you get on Facebook, add all the Toffee fans from the group, grow your channel. Enjoy your channel, deserve to do well. Thank you very much, Wayne. I will do that. I will definitely do that. Thank you very much for the kind words. Wayne says, cheers, but have a good one. Thank you very much. I hope you do too. Chris says, I've quit social media for good after I get hate from our fans for saying well done to our rivals winning. That's football fans for you, isn't it, mate? They get really sensitive for weird reasons. And Eugene says, Everton need 3 points this Saturday evening against Manchester City on Sky Sports TV, kick off 5:30. We definitely do. Listen, that's a tough game, like I said. We'll be talking about that one tomorrow at 6:15 with the live game preview, so don't forget to join us for that one. It'll, makes to be a really interesting preview, and then of course we'll have the press conference reaction on Friday night to Marco Silva's pre-game press conference for that game as well. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's live team. If you have enjoyed, please do hit that like button. It means a massive amount to me if you could. If you haven't already as well, please do subscribe to the channel. We're getting close now to 900 subscribers, so really are on the road to 1,000. Big thanks to everybody for getting involved in the live comments as per usual. If you're watching as a YouTube video, big thanks for watching. Leave your comments in the comment section and I'll be getting to them tonight and replying to as many of them as possible as well. Big thanks for all of the support recently on all of the videos. The videos have been doing really well in terms of views and likes and people just responding to them well in the comments. So big thanks to everybody for that. It really does mean a massive amount to me. Yeah, like I said, don't forget to join us tomorrow for the game preview to the Manchester City game at 6:15. Makes it be a really interesting one. Big thanks to everybody for watching. Please do leave a like on the stream if you have enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.